list of people again. Okay. There, I posted the link.
Alrighty, it looks like it's going live.
Okay. Are we on? I think we are.
We're live, yeah.
This is going to be... Are you doing the intro? Do we need to wait for the
let's go.
intro?
No, let's go straight in. We're live right now, so take her away.
Okay, perfect. This is the Boba's Alliance roundtable chat, and the setting here is a circular table made from wood. Same kind of wood as the Mon Calamari make their ships out of. Anyway, this time the first person to come in and sit at the table was Kadar. And so Kadar will have the feather to start, and then it'll pass around the room to Draven, Beef, and Dylar. And this round table is open, so anybody who wants to jump in on the conversation can get into our voice chat and ask a question or answer a question that's been asked, or you can just make some other comments about the game or about whatever you want to say. When you have the feather, you're in control. So let's give it first to Kadar.
Well, in the immortal words of Obi-Wan Kenobi, hello there, I'm Kadar the Poet, officer of Love and Alderaan Places, and Beamed, you actually wanted me to discuss the intra-alliance territory war that we had with our sister guild, Rise of Vizsla.
Hopefully, either now or later.
I'm fine with starting off with that. It was fun because for the first like 6 hours or so, maybe a little bit longer, we were pretty much going banner for banner on a tie. They were having problems with our Padme and Trey walls, and we were slowly cutting through to their ships, and then it was looking really good for a while, and then sadly we found their middle territory, and they had loaded every one of their galactic legends into that middle territory, and that pretty much stopped us dead in our tracks, unfortunately. But it was a good run, though. I was happy that we were able to keep it tied as much as we were, so it was good banner efficiency on both sides for quite a while, but they came out with the win in the end, so I'm happy for them.
That's really amazing. After each time that Kadar speaks, he'll pass the feather to Draven.
And since I was talking about the territory war, I'll introduce a question for Draven and the others to answer now. So, Grand Arena has just ended. This upcoming Grand Arena is going to be the first to potentially feature all 4 Galactic Legends at the same time. So, how is everybody feeling about that? Is anybody nervous about facing Luke or Sith the Eternal Emperor Palpatine in Grand Arena? Draven, pass off to you.
I don't have to worry at my GP level, but I'm looking forward to seeing how defensive strategy will change with 4 galactic leaders. And by the way, I'm in Rise of Vizsla.
Oh, I'm so happy I said nice things.
See, I'm not too concerned, because even at my GP, and I'm 6.95 mil GP, my top 80 is so lean that I don't think it's possible for me to get matched up with someone that has 3 or 4 Galactic Legends. I will most definitely get paired up against people with 2, but I don't think it's possible, the way the matchmaking is set up, for me to get paired up with someone with 3 yet.
And if I'm going to interject as Beefed, I would say, answering the question, at 5 million GP, I still have not faced anybody who had a Galactic Legend up in their defense. And so I'm looking forward to that, but I'm not really preparing for it in any special way. I guess I'll deal with it when I start to see it, or if it becomes a problem, but I feel like I'm a Titan in the game, and I don't have to really react until I'm provoked. But I am farming on my own GL. I just don't have any yet, and I don't really have a great answer to them. So if somebody puts one on defense against me, I'll probably lose that round. Okay, what about Dan?
Yeah.
You're up. Do you want to answer this question? Or?
Yeah, I'll definitely answer this question. So I just joined you guys today, so thanks for having me. But so what I've called a couple of Galactic Legends, and so I'm what 5.6 mil, right? So I've come up against a couple of them here and there. I don't see them all too often, but what I've found like to be the most like effective way, because I don't see them often enough to have like really hardened, like ironed out counters, is I'll look through like the top like ranks in my squad arena, and like some people will leave their counters up on defense every now and then, and I'll just use those, and you can pretty much figure out which ones are gonna go, which ones are using for Kylo and Rey specifically. So like I'll steal other people's like ideas. Like I saw somebody had like I'm sure you guys have probably heard of these, like it's like Vader, I think Vader lead with Bastila, Thrawn, Watt, and Traya, I think. So like I wouldn't have come up with that, but so like those are the kinds of things that I do for if I ever come up against them. I take a look down there and see what happens.
Excellent. The format of the round table is that each person passes the feather to whoever came in after them. In this case, Dan, the person who came after you was Kaliam. So after each time you talk, you pass the feather to Kaliam.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, Kaliam, do you have any thoughts about possibly seeing potentially 4 Galactic Legends on defense, or any of the new ones at all, without really any practice?
Well, I just fought my first Galactic Legend Luke in my arena shard just now because I had extra attempts after my payout, and yeah, my Supreme Leader Kylo got slaughtered. So it was my first attempt going in blind. I don't know, and he didn't have ult. I have my ult, and yeah, I didn't get a turn. So it was a little rough. So I'll have to keep practicing. So I think they make viable, definitely without their ult even. They'll make viable defensive squads, just because nobody knows what to really expect yet. Kind of like when the last set of Galactic Legends came out, they were people scrambling to find defenses and stuff like that. So they're new. We'll learn defenses or we'll learn counters, and yeah, as we learn counters, they'll be less and less viable on defense, but still always be very good on defense. This last territory war, Carbanti hunters threw every single one of our Galactic Legends on defense, and then just used our non-GL counters on offense, and that worked great. We pulled clear, they did not.
And fantastic. And Kaliam, after you talk each time, the person next to you is Kadar.
All right, I will pass it on to Kadar then.
Well, I'm hoping. I've only ever gone up against Kylo Ren in my GA matchup so far, because that's the only one I've got in Division 3. I really don't want to fight either of them. If I had to, I'll take Palpatine over Luke, because I think he'll be a little easier to fight in Grand Arena, just because you have to sacrifice a lot of tanks if you want an effective Palpatine squad. But yeah, I tried my Kylo Ren up against Luke in Grand Arena yesterday because we got somebody who has one. Oh man, another guy in my shard was like telling me, oh, it's easy to beat Luke with Kylo Ren. And I'm just like, I would really love to know how the heck you're doing it, because I'm getting wiped.
Yeah, I think that the way the GLs are set up now is Kylo Ren, or Supreme Leader Kylo Ren counters Palp really easy, but Rey counters Luke really easily. But otherwise, the inverse struggles.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they're setting up a true rock, paper, scissors meta between the Galactic Legends, which I enjoy quite a bit, because it's not going to be like new Galactic Legends beat the old ones, and it continues like that. You don't have to have the newest Galactic Legend to be meta anymore. So that's a +1 for me to CG. So I hope CG continues on that kind of trend, especially with free-to-play counters and such already coming out for all of them.
Yeah, and they said in a Q&A a long time ago that there was going to be a rock, paper, scissors meta again, but that was like 8 months ago when we couldn't see the forest through the trees, and it seems like now their idea of what they promised is finally kind of taking form. And I bet you, like, in 8 months' time, there are going to be two more Galactic Legends, and all 6. Like, as long as you have 2 or 3, you should be good.
Okay, and next it goes to Raven.
Since we just finished, guys, since we just finished one round of ZAC, are you planning on doing big changes to get prepared for the next round?
Yes. I've tweaked my defense and offense already.
Yeah, I guess as the next person with the feather I beefed, I would say I'm really not. I mean, I already let slip what my strategy is, which is to evolve slowly and organically in the game, and so I don't really make big changes. The only thing I've got coming right now is I'm going to put all my best mods back on the stupid droids, because I finally got everyone Gear 12 or Relic to go unlock GAS sometime this week. I was trying to do it by Sunday, but I didn't get a G12 yet on B2. So that's my upcoming thing, but it's not specifically to get ready, as you were saying. I'll pass the mic over to Dylar.
Beef, do you have a video guide for your gas attempt?
That one that you showed me, but I watched about 25 of them now.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I had a guy message me yesterday saying that he watched my video and did it and got it on the first try. I don't know if that was just God tier RNG, but it seems to be helping people. Broken down the way it is.
My gear is much lower than yours, but I did appreciate your video. It was good. And
Well,
thanks for pasting it when I said I was struggling.
Yeah, no problem. All right, well, what else has happened this week? We have new mod slicing materials. We can now take mods from 6E to 6A. So I know that I have switched up my approach to acquiring and slicing mods. And I guess I'm just curious what you guys are doing, how you are adapting, or if you are adapting at all to the new mod landscape.
After Kadar, each time it goes to... Oh, wait, that was Dylar. It goes to
Is it
Dan.
me, I think? Yeah. So, I mean, as far as the new mods, like, at this point, the materials for the new mods are so scarce that I haven't really switched up what I'm doing mod-wise. You know, I just try and get as much speed on pretty much every kind of mod that I have. But the mod that I did try and slice up was a 4-rolled speed mod, you know, with 22 speed on it. So obviously I didn't get it because that's how mods work. Like, you never get the speed. But yeah, I mean, I haven't really, until the new mod slicing materials become more readily available, I don't think it's really prudent to necessarily switch up the way I'm doing my mods, because it's so scarce that, like, how often am I gonna be able to slice up these mods? Like, once a week at the most, and it's like one mod. So it's hard for me to really say. You know, the other thing that kind of like came up when I was thinking about this earlier, like, what happens if, going back a little bit in the past, I don't know if you guys already talked about this, but if you only have one Galactic Legend in, like, Squad Arena, like, are people just gonna like how are you gonna, is there gonna be a consistent way for you to get to the top of your Squad Arena with only one, or are you gonna have to have multiple, you know, in order to climb and then put one on defense or something like that? You know, because, like, if you have only Palpatine or only, you know, Kylo Ren, like, who can't beat Luke, like, how does that work?
Well, I think you're gonna have.
One will turn out better on defense.
You're just gonna have to use the off-meta counters, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe let's pass it to Kalaim as number 6. We got a new caller, number 7, Naughty Karate, number 8, Notorious Falcon.
So we're still talking about the mods?
Yeah, talk about mods, yeah.
Alright.
New color.
Well, for the mods, the ones I'm taking above 6E are the ones with the really high speed, like 3 rolls into speed. Like, I'd rather take like a 16 speed that has 3 rolls, keep trying to form more rolls on that, rather than like a 4 that has like 20 speed, because there's more potential there for growth. I'm definitely not gonna slice ones that already have all 5 rolls into speed. Like, I'm only looking for speed, so no point in slicing those any higher because I already got all 5 speed. So I'm really glad they put a cap. If they didn't put a cap on 5, though, we could see some ridiculous speed mods out there and it'd just be pure RNG based. So that's kind of my approach. Like, I'm looking for my 3 or 4 speed rolls where there was like 5 or 6 every time, rather than like a 4 one with one more roll. If it was like lower. I don't know if that makes sense, or I'm just rambling.
Well, I guess when I asked the question, I kind of was thinking of even like farming mods, because like I'm not going to be dedicating any energy to actually farm mods, because one, you get the RNG of even getting the mods, and the cost that it takes you now to level up a mod from gray to yellow. Like I'm putting all my energy now into just farming the finisher pieces to take them from 5A to 6E, because those pieces are also used to slice during the 6E to 6A process. So now for me to farm mods, I'm not even using energy to farm mods. I'm just I'm building up my gold and my Fleet Arena currency, and I'm just buying gold mods from the store when they're available, and only if they have a speed roll on them. Because you're going to have to get, basically your top 80, every character is going to have to get 6 dot mods, right? That's going to be the case, because that's what the people at the top are going to do. So like, I'm not even going to dedicate any energy to just farming mods. I'll just buy out of the store, and I'll keep what I can get out of the store that rolls nice, but then I can kind of skip having to farm all the extra mats to level up a gray mod to a yellow mod.
Yeah.
It's not my turn, so I won't say that I'm doing kind of the same thing. What about Naughty Karate? Do you want to take an unmute on this mod question?
Yeah, sure. I totally agree with Dylar and Callium. But yeah, it's really about farming the stuff that you already have. Point. Since you already need something formidable to proc, and it's a random upgrade every time you try to do it. So if you have something and you know the ceiling is 5 procs speed, pick the one that has the most of them. Or 3. 3 is a good one. That's a good one to pick. 4 maybe? Depends how high it procs, you know? If it was less than 20, maybe that's a good one to pick. But yeah, it's really about farming what you already have rather than farming up, like Dylar said, what you hope to get, because it's such an RNG fest. You already know what your mods are good on, and just improve the ones are worthy of improving, you know? But not mindlessly, you know?
And the next person after Naughty is Notorious Falcon. So Naughty, whenever you finish, you can introduce Notorious Falcon.
Yeah, Notorious Falcon, go for it, man. Okay.
Hey, can you guys hear me all right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so...
You're live.
Okay, cool. Earlier in the conversation, I think somebody was talking about a counter to Ray. Is that correct? With the Vader?
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
I mean, that's what I used to climb in arena every day against Ray, and that's pretty much 100% counter, a hard counter. So if you need any help with that, reach out. I use it every day.
Tell us about it right now. You have the magic feathers, so it's your turn to talk, and you can say whatever you want to say.
All right. Do you guys want me to go into detail about the mechanics of the counter?
Sure.
Yeah, give us 2 to 3 minutes about it.
Okay, well, Vader's your lead. You have Thrawn, Watt, and Bastia, and Dre, Darth Revan. And you give Watts first the weapons tech to Vader. He marks usually JKR because JKR has the revive. You put the Force Crush on JKR, and then you move around the table, hitting everybody, and return to JKR, Force Crush again, more dots. You don't kill him, you don't use a saber throw. Then your next move should be to Fracture Ray to protect yourself. And then you're going to use Dre's special and Bastia's special to put all their negative effects on the whole team. And at some point, Ray is going to go into her defensive stance where you can't deal any damage, and you just build up your turn meter. She's going to do one ultimate. Your team is going to survive, and at that point, you move around, kill JKR as fast as you can, and you can usually kill Yoda and one other, saving Jedi Luke and or Ray for last, using the saber throw. So, I mean, that's how the counter works. Any questions
Beautiful
about
description.
it? Was it clear enough?
Notorious. Yeah, that was good. After you talk each time, you pass the feather to Lele. Lele, you're up. It's your turn. Are you gonna unmute and talk to us?
Actually,
Notorious. Yeah, you could say more.
Hi.
I was going to talk about mods.
Long time no
but-
see, Lele.
I'm sorry. Pardon me. I didn't catch what you said.
Oh, Notorious still has the feather, and he says, Lele, you're next, but he hasn't quite passed it to you yet. He's teasing you with the feather at this point.
Okay. Lucky. It's my lucky thing after all.
I was passing it to Lele already vicariously. What's up? It's been a while.
You can go.
Is it my turn to talk? I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm sorry. I have messages popping in, and so not to be picky, but it's Lily. But you guys can say Lele. That's fine. Wouldn't be the first.
It's Lily, you say?
Yeah, it's my stepson's nickname. He started for me when he was, 2. My first name is Lee, and there you go.
Okay, carry on.
I just joined the call to listen in and learn things. I don't have anything, I think, to add.
Lele, tell us about your progress in the game since we got matched up in GSE. Because that's why we know each other.
I don't know who's actually talking now.
This is Naughty.
Oh,
Pineapple.
Naughty. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hi. How are you?
Yeah, sorry. Sorry to confuse you.
I swear I'm not blonde, but oh, that's funny.
No, we know you're not. We're just curious, talking about your experience of the game since, the last, I don't know, couple months.
I hate
What are you
that.
into right
I
now?
really don't put a lot of
You
effort
hate it?
into it. Yeah, it just annoys me. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I
Still
sometimes
join
look
it,
into
though,
it,
right?
but I just
For
sometimes
free
feel like,
reward.
oh, it's just too much, going on. So I half-ass do it. My husband gets upset with me because I cut these. I'm horrible at defense, so I never know what to put.
Well,
So-
as I recall that you won when we were matched together, and you said your husband did it.
If that's probably the truth, because I'll give it to him all the time. Here, baby, take care of this, and he'll be like, 2,100, come on, how am I gonna do that? But I think.
Hey, what a
he-
great husband to have. What can I say?
Yeah, it's just 9 times out of 10 he's not home to do it for me anyway. So. But I used to do the hot bot thing and look at their GAC and whatnot. So now I just use it the opposite. I just go to their GAC and look at their defense and look at what their opponent used to clear them. And generally, I just try the same damn thing.
Yeah, well, if it makes
a
you feel
really
any
good
better,
tip.
I do that every single time. I do my
Yeah.
scouting, and I still lose half the time, and I don't care, so it's fine.
Yeah. It comes in waves. Sometimes I really am into it, but here in the last month or so, real life has just been too crazy for me to where I can really put a lot of effort into it. So, yeah.
After each time Lily talks, you would introduce the next speaker. The person sitting next to you at the table is Kadar. So whenever you conclude your statements or questions, you pass the feather to Kadar.
Okay. If I think of something afterwards, can I come back and say something, or?
No, never.
And
You
the
can never
idea
say
is
anything good.
The idea is that we'll take turns, and right now we're 30 minutes into
Okay.
a 60-minute recording that we're making of this round table, and we have at the
Oh.
moment, I think, 9 callers on the line. Number 9
Oh.
is Lily, and then 1 Kadar, 2 Draven, 3 Thief, 4 Dylar, 5 Dan, 6
Oh my. Okay.
Colleen,
Please
7 Naughty
edit out.
Karate, 8 Notorious Falcon.
Great. Please edit out my part of the conversation before posting anything. That would be grand and much appreciated.
No, that will not happen. Lily.
Oh.
We love you, Lee. Your,
It's going out
all
live.
Your contribution
Yes,
is beautiful.
Yeah, you're
and it
live
will
right
not
now.
be edited.
Oh God.
It's
All right.
meant to be informal, so
Cheers,
anyway.
gay boys. Cheers to y'all, and here's your feather, Kadar.
Thank you. All right, so what was the original question again? Was it something about mods or something? I forgot.
Yeah, you could switch
Yeah,
it up, man. if you want.
Tyler's question was about mods.
Well, like people have been saying, we've only gotten enough materials to splice one mod to the first tier of the new tiers that have been introduced. I haven't even done it myself, and I'm just gonna stock it up. I like heavily betted on the fact that CG was going to be like, this is a great opportunity to get stuff out to the whales. Let's put a bunch of mod mat packs in the store, and they haven't put a single pack in the store with the new mats, and I was genuinely shocked by that. But they're keeping it entirely free to play for now, I suppose, or mostly free to play, depending on how much in your roster you're able to punch up to those feats you need to get him. But I'm curious to see if that trend is going to continue, if these mod mats will only be exclusive from the Galactic Challenge rewards. So I'll probably just continue to stock up on the mats and not slice until I have a ton ready, because that's how I roll. And I will pass it on to Raven now, I believe.
Raven. That's right.
I personally am building up the teams to do the challenges a lot easier. What do y'all think about how random the challenges seem to appear, and there's no ifs, wins, or whenever it's going to pop up? What do y'all think about the challenging part of the getting the pieces?
This is to me. Yeah. Man, I'm liking the challenges, actually. It's given me something different to do in the game that uses more of my characters, and so I'm really enjoying those. But I'm not yet specifically farming for them, because you could do it with an off-flavor team and still get most or a lot of the rewards. So therefore, I haven't done any specific farming for that, and I don't necessarily intend to. The only thing I'm working on is Luke. Is trying to get those new Luke characters. And so I'll pass the feather to Dylar.
Well, when it comes to the Galactic Challenge events, I don't know. I like them, but then again, I kind of, up till now, I've had all the teams to do all the feats. So, I don't know. Keep them coming. We need them. We don't need breaks. Like, this was supposed to be 3 days, and then they were supposed to roll into another one. Like, unless they're going to give us more opportunities to get these mats, they got to do something. Because if this is the cadence that we're going to get it at going forward, no one's going to have any 6A mods for months. Like, it's just, there's a dearth of ways to get them, and there's got to be something coming, because they can't just introduce a new gear progression system and then not give us any way to access that system, at least not with the current frequency that they're currently doing. Here, I thought as soon as they launched the new mods that we were out of beta, but it still feels like we're in Galactic Challenge beta.
And so it passes then to Dan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Galactic Challenges, like, they're fine. I like everybody's been saying, I wish they were more frequent. You know, like, you never know what's going to happen. You don't know anything, which is kind of nice, I guess, that they're you know, a little unexpected in terms of what's going on in them, but we can't have these things where they're 3 days long, which is fine. 3 days, and then they could be nothing for 2-3 days, and then another 3-day thing. Like they're just like the cadence is, like I said before, it's too sporadic, you know, for what's there. Like this past one was super wacky with only having to kill Palpatine. Like what the heck, you know? Like what's the point of that? You know, it's like neat, but it's like basically free gear, which I'm not complaining about. But
Well, this is actually the second time we've gotten that mechanic. We saw that before originally with when it was something versus Empire. I can't remember, but it was the Death Star one. But that one was so much harder because the characters that you had to use, you couldn't get to Thrawn that easily.
Yeah,
I mean,
Jedi Knight Revan just fixes that whole thing. If he points the gun at Palpatine, it's over.
yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining. It was very easy. You know, provided you have the requisite characters, the easiest galactic challenge by far so far, in my opinion. You know, and those nice of them to throw those droid collars in there, you know, on tier 4 for sure.
Yeah, totally. What about you, Kaliam?
I had a lot of fun with this last one, to be honest. One, my alt does not have Revan, or like any high-level meta characters other than I have a 6-star Gas and a Padme team. So I took Gas, Ahsoka, to get that 501st combo, and was able to clear all the feats with a 6-star Gas. And took like 50 tries on that last year, but I was so happy when I got it. It was really fun. So I'm really glad they took away that stupid, like, oh, your whole team has to be Relic 5 for the last tier, you know? I'm really glad they took away that, because I was able to have some fun theory crafting on my alt. But yeah, on my main, it just blew everything up, and it was super easy. I think we'll probably, when they get this Galactic Challenge shop set up, we'll probably see those mods in there, and then there'll be like currency tied to the feats, and I'm expecting it to be much more available once that Galactic Challenge shop becomes a thing in game.
You're right. I totally forgot that there was a screenshot of the currency from Galactic Challenges.
Yeah, back when the data mine found the currency. So once that gets set up, yeah, I'm sure it'll be much more accessible to everyone for the mod slicing and stuff.
Very good. And the feather passes then to Naughty Karate.
Who's?
If you want to
You're
talk
muted
now.
there, Naughty.
He may be away from the console. If Naughty Karate
Oh,
is... Oh,
sorry. Boom. Wow.
there he is.
Darn. Gosh darn it. I have my shit muted. Wait, what's the question? There's too much going on right now. No.
You want to elaborate on that, or just pass the feather to Notorious?
Wait, just challenges in general, you mean? You mean the new
Galactic. The new Galactic
Well-
challenges.
I don't know, 5 free droid colors, Mark 5 droid colors, pretty awesome. I hope that trend continues and was not just a coding mistake. But in general, it's nice to have something to do other than, you know, nothing or the things you don't like in the game. Like LSTV for the next coming week. Oh, God.
I hate to
Kill
break it to
me
you, Naughty.
now, seriously.
I hate to break it to you, but the
I mean,
developers have already said the droid collars were a coding mistake.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I figured it. That was actually kind of obvious. But thank you for clarifying, Tyler.
Oh.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Hi. Am I allowed to ask a question before I get a feather?
You are allowed to talk,
Okay.
Claire.
Yeah. Has everyone already used their little special extra slicing mod things? I don't know what they're called. The little thingies to go over 60 mod.
No,
So-
most of us just said we haven't spent them yet because it's so hard to get them.
Okay, that's
But,
what I thought I heard, but I wasn't sure.
And then
yeah,
to
I have
clarify
not-
for you, Lay, so like the idea is you want to use it on something that already has only proc speed maybe 3 to 4 times, because
I
the
got
next
that.
time you use it, yeah. So it's really, but it's all luck. I've used it once. I've had one opportunity to use one, and it didn't proc speed. Proc offense on a mod that didn't need offense. I was like, oh my god, F you. But whatever, it'll happen. It's just a way to take mods that are already good into being even better. And prioritizing the speed secondary seems to be if I'm understanding that correctly, it seems to be the focus of what people are kind of like edging for on their gambling bets for what mod to spend these new currencies we don't have anymore, or like they're just getting. I mean, but
Yeah, I mean, I have so many mods. It's a shame. I even have 60 mods that aren't even on a tune. So it's bad.
See what Notorious has to say. It's his turn next.
go ahead, Notorious. I passed my stick.
Okay, that's great. Thanks. So talking a little bit about mods, maybe like a lot of you, space is always the battle for me, and there's always the goal for speed. And as you advance your mod collection, you also start to get more picky about what mods you get and where you get them from. So I've only been getting them from the shop almost since the shop opened. I'll only buy something that has a 4 or 5 speed now, and I'll slice to the blues, and if I haven't got a double hit on the blues, it goes in the trash. If it's purple and not over 10 speed, it goes to the trash. And there are some very small exceptions to that, but I'm always looking for that next great hit on a triangle or a cross, because those are the scarce ones. Those are the ones we're all chasing to get that extra edge. And I also look for properties that are aligned. So if you, let's just say you have a health mod, you want that to be a health primary. If it's a defense mod, you want it to be a defense primary. If it's a critical damage mod, you like to see the offense and the critical chance secondary. So I look for alignment too. And if they're not aligned and don't have speed, I don't buy them or I get rid of them because I need the space. What do you guys do?
Okay, from Notorious, pass the feather to Lily.
I give my husband my phone or iPad.
Lily.
Sleep.
It's Lily.
I have no shame. But really, that's what I do. I'm passing the feather.
To Kadar.
Well, I actually gave my account up to Shaka. Is that how you? Shaka Zulu, I think.
Shaka
he's
Zulu.
one of-
That's a great name.
Shaka's our TW chief.
He is, yes. And he started working on my mods and took over my account for a day and a half or so, worked on my mods. And then he's been tied up with work and hasn't finished, so.
Wow.
Hey, Lee, have you ever seen the movie Shaka Zulu?
No.
Really?
About,
Watch it. Goodness. Do you know about Shaka Zulu? It's like a South African tribe.
I don't.
The Zulus.
Is this an appropriate space? Yeah, the Zulu
Yeah,
tribe. Yeah, Shaka Zulu. This is where the Zulu tribe came from.
Yeah.
Would,
Well, we only got.
would
a
you
few
like
more
to hear
minutes
the shorthand
for,
story? Would you like
we
to
only
hear the
got
naughty
about,
shorthand version?
No, I think
Do it.
save it.
Do
'Cause
it. Let's hear
in
it.
20 minutes, we're gonna push the button and then tell us after hours, because that's more of a story that we want to not include on our recording about this. Star Wars
It's not
chat.
it's not a bad story.
No, that's true. There were
Just,
some heroic figures. It's a wonderful story, but
Yeah,
Save
fair
that
enough.
story. Pass the feather to Kadar. I think we
I
got time for
digress.
one more round.
All right, so am I
because
asking a new question or asking a previous one? I was losing track.
I think we're gonna try to at least go around one more time. So send out your last statement to the universe, or answer a question if you've heard of one or were thinking about one.
Alrighty, I got a question. So, our absolute game-wide event, our absolute favorite game-wide event is coming up. Dark, light side, Geonosis, territory battles. Obviously, it's the greatest thing in the game. Everybody loves it.
Oh,
Nothing
it's your
compares.
favorite?
I'm being sarcastic.
Here,
There
I
is
thought I was the only
heavy,
one that loved it.
heavy sarcasm in that. Let me tell you.
I actually do like it.
You
Like,
nasty girl.
I do decent at it. Like, I pulled 22 million through the 4 days or through the 6 days, so I think that's pretty decent for my roster. But is there any tricks, secrets you guys pull to get a little more effective? Any secret composition squads you use to get those extra phases cleared? Lay them out. I'll pass the feather.
First is to Draven.
Why not
I-
focus on the special missions? I mean, maximize your currency.
Yeah, Notorious, you're up. You're caller 8. Next is 2, Draven.
Well, he can go ahead and answer the question if he wants to.
Okay, go for it. Draven has the feather, but the feather can call on anyone to speak. So Draven is in charge, and he says, Notorious, answer.
So one of the ways to get the most out of territory battles is to try and find ways to crack the special missions. And I found with the right amount of research and practice, you can win that get to currency for your guild, regardless of the overall score and stars you get. That's the way to maximize the value you get out of this event.
So I'll chime in here.
Really
So
good.
if we're gonna just look at the dark side territory battle, so for the dark side territory battle, yes, it is prudent to go for the special missions in phase 1, 2, and 3, but there's a break point when a guild has to decide in P4, specifically for the dark side special or territory battle, that they can't go for the special mission. They have to take those tunes and go for the Dooku mission in order to get stars. So there's like a break-even point. So for light side territory battles, I know right now Alpha, who's like 350 million GP, we don't go for any of the special missions because we're just going for stars. So right now we have totally sidelined. We don't do any of the special missions because we're going for stars. At some point, once we can easily have the extra GP to ensure that we get all our stars in P1, then we'll start allowing people to go back to the special mission.
That's totally different than in Utter Madness. We're a pretty casual guild, and the discussion came up about light side territory battle. They said, you want to go to Geonosis this time? We've never tried it yet. And now I've tried it in my other guild, so I know how horrible it is. And I convinced them to stay on Hoth at least one more time. We're going to try to get almost a perfect score on Hoth, and then we're probably going to go get slaughtered on light side Geo next time. But the only trick that I was using that was effective before was... I couldn't say anything that was really effective. I've been on light side Geonosis a couple times, and it wasn't very pleasant. I mean, we pretty much just got shot to pieces.
Well, team-wise, every member of your guild, if you're going to be effective at light side territory battles, needs a Ray team, like a GL Ray. You need a full decked-out Padme team. You need a full clone team, Shock T lead, and gas, because you're going to be swapping them back and forth. And then now, if you're going to push into P4, you almost have to have Jedi Master Luke, because you can build an offense Luke with really, really low speed, which lets you just easily get 4-4 in phases 3 and 4. And then with Luke, you can kind of break off and make a GK team, a Galactic Republic team, to get you your Jedi mission in P3. Like, it's really this. Sadly, this light side territory battle is tuned for people that have like 6.4 million GP and higher.
At least 6.4,
Yeah.
right?
Maybe higher. Well, okay.
Hey, Tyler,
let's continue with our... Go ahead.
I'm sorry to take over, Beef. I just want to ask Tyler, So do you think in GAC, is there a way to make a Ray defense team that does not compromise having a JTR team on defense as well? Because that's kind of the thing that I'm struggling with. I'm like, oh no, I need to replace her. Because if I use her to do like a bunch of tanks with Ray, which counters Vader, for example, and I compromise not being able to use Ray with the heroes and stuff like that, which is a really great defense team. A couple droids, BB-8 and R2. Is there a way to like use them more economically elsewhere? I guess.
Like
Sounds like an opening.
You're talking JTR or GL Ray?
Well, I'm talking GL Ray as a defense team, and then also JTR as a defense team.
Yeah,
that's what I've been doing for a while.
That's what I'm doing right now, and I've been getting these in round 1, round 2. I got holds on my JTR because if you put JTR with the 2 heroes, BB-8 and R2, that team is actually quite nasty and catches people unaware. But then with your GL Ray, like I run Nest, Holdo, L3, and Malik.
Interesting.
Okay, that's good stuff. Yeah. Also, Callium, thank you for the suggestion of Ray with both vets, Nest and L3. That's decent. That's actually a formidable defense team. You really have to have the counter.
Because the vets are both scoundrels, L3 will cleanse them, and then also their damage ramps up whenever the other vet or GL Ray takes any sort of damage. Their offense just starts scaling high. So yeah, that's a pretty solid defensive team without compromising JTR.
Yeah, Nest is a scoundrel too.
I guess my point in all this is like as one scales up their roster and inflates it, how do you split those useful teams, however you have them modded, that are relic that you had to be forced to relic, like, oh, Rose, I'm raising my fist in the air. Rose, damn it! How will you be least useful? She's not useful. That's the answer.
It's a really rich question, I guess. As if it was my last chance to hold the feather, I would say this is what the round table is all about, is that anybody can show up and ask this really good, insightful question, and somebody could unexpectedly pop off a really insightful answer, like that thing about the data mine, and oh yeah, the store is coming, and we're going to get that new mod material someday. I mean, I had forgotten about that completely. So I want to say thanks for coming while I have a feather, and then this is open for anybody who's a member of Boba's Alliance to come join us next Wednesday if you want to get your 2 bits in, and sometimes it's a wild, free-flowing conversation, but really, when it's your turn to talk, we're all here to listen. So that could be an interesting exercise, actually, in approaching the mic when you know that you're speaking to an audience. Anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for listening. Let's pass the feather to Dylar.
Oh, no. I've talked enough. Whoever's down the line for me can do some speaking.
Okay, that is Dan. Dan, good. Do you want to say goodnight to everyone?
I want to say one thing real quick. You just said Wednesday. Today's Monday.
You're right. This is Monday.
I was real confused myself.
So it's on Mondays. It's every Monday, yeah?
Yeah, every Monday. Somebody was saying they want to do one that's more for the European time zones, and I want to encourage anybody who wants to take that on to do it. I won't be awake in the middle of the night for that, but yeah, it's every Monday around the same time.
I don't know.
Well, just FYI, Europeans have their own little time zone clusters where they hang out and talk. It's just
so they could do it over
just
there.
Not here. Yeah, but it's 4 a.m. there now.
It's 3 a.m. in London right now.
Okay, so what about you, Dan? Do you want to say something else before we stop the recording?
I mean, other than it'll be interesting to see how these new mods affect the game, whether or not they'll actually make a material difference, other than people having more good speed mods, whether or not having
they will.
higher
They will.
secondary stats, will make a significant difference, or if speed will still be like, or just having a 5 speed mod will be enough. You know, a Mark 5E, a Mark 5A speed mod with 5 proc speed will be enough to compete with the, 5 proc speeds or 4 proc speeds that have, 4 procs of something else, of offense or whatever. That's what I would say. We'll see how that goes. Certainly could be
See
interesting.
how it goes.
Very insightful. How about Kalium?
What's the topic again? Sorry. I zoned out
You want to
for
say one
second.
more thing before we call it a night?
No, I'm good. Sorry.
That's fine. Okay. Thank you for coming.
Got nothing to
Naughty
add.
Karate.
Actually, without context, I did want to jump on what Den just said. Is that it very much is true? Is that we will see how it works out with this new modding priority. But if there are people that really know how to slice their mods, you're gonna see some, 170 plus speed teams. But I guess we all have that opportunity, so we'll see how it works out. Really, at least it's not too whale augmented in this way, because you have to slowly earn the mods to get the mods to do the modding, I guess. But no, hold on. Anyway, yeah, I guess I'm done talking. Whatever, you guys know what I mean.
Absolutely. Good point. What about Notorious Falcon?
I'd just like to say thanks for letting me participate. I've learned a lot and enjoyed the cast.
Okay, Lily, you want to say something before you log off?
Oh, she just left.
She logged off.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, it's open mic now, and we're going to cut the recording off in a couple more minutes. Oh, look at this. New caller appears. Tassinix. Hello.
Nah, Tasnix doesn't deserve to have a voice. Get rid of this asshole. I'm sorry.
Yeesh.
I just couldn't help it. No, Tasnix, you have the talking.
Say what?
Please
How's it
say
going?
what you want to say.
You're tuning
Actually,
in right
listen
at
to
the
me.
end of our round table, so you can say something to the universe before we...
I've never been on one of these before. I mainly just dropped in to be a fly on the wall. Don't really have any context to come in and say something. So, hi.
Well, you're on the live stream now, buddy. It's being recorded and it's live, so only pieces of nuggets of wisdom here.
Right. And I just feel out of context, so I'll just let the conversation carry on.
No, I know. I'm just busting
Well,
your balls, man.
I would like to hear more about this territory war that was between the two guilds within our alliance. And from what I heard, one guild placed all of their Galactic Legends in the middle of the map, and then that stopped the other guild from...
Yeah, we didn't expect that.
Did you have GL counters?
Which
You
guilds
just
were
didn't have
these?
enough?
Wait, who were the contenders here?
Levenald are on places, my guild, and then Rise of Vizsla. I can't remember if it was Dialer or Draven who was on that one.
So one of the other callers was in the other guild on the other side of that battle.
Yeah, it was a fun time. I was really happy to be able to jest with the other guild in the chat because it was an alliance one. So I really hope that we have more matchups like that in the future, just so we have that opportunity to playfully jest at each other.
Did you have any friendly wagers on this match? Like the losing guild each has to R7 Farm Boy Luke now that he's not going to be used for anything?
Oh my God, no! That would be that would irritate the losing side so badly, especially if it was just like losing side R7 Rose Tico. Here you go. Oh no, nothing like that. I figured it was mostly just like bragging rights. I didn't really know who was gonna win it until I woke up this morning. It was just like, that's a wall of Galactic Legends right there. We're not gonna get through that.
Actually, would you guys like to hear some like how to win TW strats?
I think
Uh-oh.
that's a good
Are we
topic.
still recording?
Oh yeah,
Are we still
yeah. It's
recording right
still
now?
We
recording.
got a few more minutes.
Give her.
Okay.
Okay, so are you
So-
saving this, or are you going to leak this? Because people outside the Alliance might hear what you're saying now.
I really don't care because I'll just give you like overarching ideas. Essentially.
All right, go for it.
So, what you do is you compare your guild against the other guild and see how many rays and how many SLKRs they have. Obviously, the game has changed. Some people have Master Lukes, but that's really rare. Unless you're competing at a very high level, you're not going to see that right now. So you basically look at how many rays and how many SLKRs you have, and then you just front load all of your rays. You put all the rays at the front of your teams, and then you put your Grievouses and your Padmes and your whatevers in the back. You make them earn any right. So people that are trying to be cheeky with like, oh, we're gonna pepper GLs with all this other crap in the back. No, don't do that. Don't do that. You make people earn it from the front. If they have to get through zone 1 or 2, they have to earn it. Don't try to starve their counters before that. Silly. Just silly. If you're going to put your GLs on defense in an economical way where you can still beat the other ones that you expect to see on defense, just put them in the front. Like it's a really simple concept. But almost no
not bad.
guilds that we see in Alpha that gets matched with does that. They like hide them in the back, or they're like peppered around. Well, look, just put 3 rays before ships. Yeah, guess what? We already planned for like 2 zones of that. Like if the counters are planned, and if your crew is geared to be able to handle it, you put all your rays on defense and you put them in the front. And a couple of Kylo Rens, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry.
SLKRs, there we go.
Yeah.
That's true, Naughty, but we also make sure
Slackers.
we save as many counters as they have GLs, just in case they put them all on defense too, right?
Well, yes. But we always prepare our attack plan for if they would present everything they had on defense
Yep.
otherwise.
Absolutely.
And only the last cycle that we got matched up with did someone do that, where they didn't put it all. Like, we were prepared to beat all of their shit, and they didn't do anything. And it was like, oh man, this was such a great... Anyway, I guess my point of all of this is that, yeah, put all the toughest stuff up front. Has the fewest counters. It's kind of the point. Make people like earn their way through those first zones. Don't hide them in the back. That's silly. We had a few in the back. We hit a couple Master Lukes in the back. There was like 3 of them, but still, it's easily counterable.
Yeah, you saw our one Luke got 7 holds this last TW too, right?
Yeah, Gage got 7 holds, but they ran out of counters. If that was in the front, that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
But we're also in a
Yeah.
privileged position, being an alpha, being high GPs, that a lot of us have been developing the off-meta counters too. So I think
That's
we deal
true.
we
And
deal
it
with most of the
depends
rays
on,
using
yeah,
Vader.
your
So
guild. Yeah.
So this recent TW with Utter Madness, and we're a fairly mid-level guild. This was the first time we went against an enemy that had so many GLs. They had 4 SLKR and 1 GL Ray, and we just had 3 SLKRs, and one of them is lower gear. But what we decided to do this time is we didn't place any of those on defense. We kept them all for attack, and it worked. We just put
Yep.
our toughest
Yep.
Sith Empire and other, good defense all in one section, and it just so happened that they cleared the north part of the map first, through all of our Padme stuff, through all of our Night Sisters, and then they opened the second section on the south and found out, here's all this really nasty Sith Empire stuff behind our
Yeah,
Geodes
beef.
and Grievous.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, you
So
get
then
it
they were
because
stuck.
it's about. Yeah, if you have the counters, you can win. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
If you save
but
it, yeah.
If you're if we had put all of our best stuff, I think, in the front, they would have known it was there. And so they might have known, oh, when we go south later, we have to have counters for these Relic 7 KRU squads.
Oh, yeah.
But they didn't know because it was all hidden behind the Geonosians. So in
Yeah.
that subtle
Well, that
way, I
makes
kind of did like your plan, but we had our best stuff in the second section, and it
Bro,
worked this
I
time.
love it. I love it. But also, you're talking about like the last couple times we got mashed up in TW. People gave us the FU defense where they put 60 GLs on defense, and they couldn't clear as a result. Like, they didn't plan their offense very much, but we could still clear them. 60 of them.
Amazing. Yeah,
So-
we didn't.
Yeah.
Our enemy did not put all of
very
those
impressed with
on
us.
D.
I was very impressed. I
They
was
had
like, oh no, what is this?
They had 3 SLKRs on D, and they were scattered all around the map. So we never had to
Mhm.
fight their Ray, and we never flushed out their 4th SLKR. But what we did is we beat the crap
Yeah,
out of their
nice.
fleets. We had an advantage on ships, so we went to the north. We just, even though north was harder, we just went right to their fleets and beat them on points. So
So
a
the end
couple
of the
really
story
close.
is superior strategy won the game.
Things are
the
slowly.
last few have been
Strategy and
so close.
execution won it.
It's been right down to the wire the past couple TW.
Strategy-wise, OTW is shifting. Like, I think we're going to see that is now in no way, shape, or form should you be setting SLKR on defense unless it's the Night Sister variant. Because as people
Agreed.
get Luke
Yeah.
just manhandles SLKR first order. It just manhandles it. It's
Mhm.
easy. I can almost do it in my sleep now. I climb an arena with it. So SLKRs, you're going to almost always probably hold it for offense or put the Night Sister variant, which trips up the Luke counter. And I think we should be, just for naughty Tasnix and myself, I think we're all in alpha, we should be putting these Lukes down. If you have Gear 13 Chupio, it's on defense no matter what, because that team,
Yeah, I
is
totally
rough.
agree, man. That team messes everybody up.
like,
We
in
saw
my,
one of those that was only 5 stars, but somebody beat it. But they were saying, "Oh, I should have saved Supreme Leader Kylo Ren for that because it was so horrible."
well, like,
Dude, Chupio adds a
Oh.
lot to it.
I went,
Really,
I took a
it's
full
kind of
relic.
ridiculous.
I took a full relic Padme team against it today, and I literally only got 3 turns, because it's unbelievable. Gas can beat
Yeah,
it,
it's a
but it's
great team.
RNG dependent. So if you got a Gear 13 Chupio, that is now a defensive team. That team, and it heals. So that
Mhm.
team is nuts. And you know what the budget
I
counter
gotta
for it
check
is?
that out.
General Grievous.
Oh, I heard
Oh,
the better
Grievous.
counter was.
Oh, you were saying that earlier. Actually, Dyler, can you please
yeah,
like
tell us.
clarify that? Because I think that's you told me that earlier before we started recording.
Yeah,
But
well,
if we're still recording,
yeah, we're still recording, and that's fine because this is kind of becoming common knowledge now. Like, there's enough videos out there now that people are going to be learning this. But we're going to see a slow shift where GG is no longer considered a defensive team, because GG is built to counter that CLS with Chupio team. Because you put GG down with Newt, which is normally what we do for defense. So Newt gets left out in the open, and the rest of the people get stealth. Well, the CLS team will kill Newt, but when he gets his first death, he goes into stealth. So GG gets a free bonus turn. GG does his AoE, and it applies target lock to everybody. And now target lock on the General Grievous leadership does not, if someone's target locked, they cannot counterattack or take moves out of turn. So now that you just neutered CLS, and you can kind of manhandle them.
To prepare your CLS for this GG counter would be heavy tenacity.
Yeah, but
but who's gonna remod their
yeah.
old CLS team for tenacity? I mean, everyone has a tenacity Chewy, hopefully. I mean, that's very important. But just in general,
yeah, you're gonna see some
There's
things
no-
switching. It seems like CLS is becoming
it's
a defensive
just
now.
a good
and,
counter.
yeah,
No one's gonna mod for that counter, you know.
so there's a
No
little
one, but-
there's a little
Okay,
TW
go
tip
on.
for everyone that's listening.
So what's the story with the revives on that team? Does Chupio revive himself?
He revives if somebody else is revived. So if he's on a team, that's where he is also kind of nice on Mon Mothma, because if he dies and correct me if I'm wrong because don't have a whole lot of experience with it, but if somebody revives somebody else on that team, Chupio is also revived, is how his revive works.
Yes, that's correct. Actually, I was talking to Howler, another Alpha member, today. He just Relic 7 Jin Urso, and he has neither Zeta on her. And I was like, yo, dude, what's up? What do you know about Jin Urso that I don't know? And he was saying that under a Mon Mothman team, he thought that she would be really good. So he was like, I don't have the resources to R7 someone just to random test it out. You know what I mean?
Yeesh.
But he said that he thinks instead of Scarif Rebel Pathfinder that she would be great on the team because she does offer a revive, and he has her super fast, like modded over 300. So she's going to be constantly taking turns. She removes turn meter, and she revives people whenever she gets a crit on her special, which is kind of interesting. But he doesn't have either Zeta on her, and I have double Zeta Jin. In fact, there's a meme that I made about that when I accidentally gave her stun, immune to stun Zeta, which now seems like it could be very valuable. You know, like 3 years later.
Yeah, Mon revives and she revives, so having those two together on a team makes it a little trickier for the enemy to undo that.
You kill a tank and then it comes back, and you're like, oh no, what do I do? That's kind of the idea.
The problem with building a revive team around Mon Mothma is that if someone comes in with a Bosk Bounty Hunter team that is loaded up with speed, they can start picking off people before you go to get a chance.
Or a Trey team.
Yeah.
Like a Trey team will mess that up. Like it's
the
Mon
Bounty
Mothma
Hunters against Mon, and because of Boba, they could shoot that rocket and then they can't revive.
Yeah, Boba and Django when he's got his other Zeta, his
He's
kills
got
can't
Zeta,
revive.
no revive on his turn.
Yeah.
But the Mon Mothma stacks so many buffs on their team that then Boba's rocket is insane.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, like Spirit is there.
Yeah, that's
It's
actually.
all about momentum on either counter. It's all who gets the momentum. You know.
Alright guys, this has been fun, but I gotta drop out unfortunately. But good times as always. I look forward to the next one.
I see we got.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
I see we got somebody new. JDC. I don't know how you pronounce that name, but welcome.
Suzuki.
Suzuki.
Yeah, you want to say hi?
Better, dude.
Maybe just listening. He's on mute at the moment. Hey, how's it going? How was your territory war, Suzuki?
Pretty well. We got a win.
What are you seeing a lot of on defense over there where you're at? You're fighting a bunch of Galactic Legend.
Like everyone, Grievous. What's that like?
You keep cutting out, man, and you're really quiet.
Okay, get the mic a little closer and try it again, because we can hear part of what you're saying, but not very well.
Hold on, I'll try to turn myself up.
That's working now. How was your territory war?
It went pretty well. We won, and then what we're seeing on defense time is just like Grievous and Padme, and then we'll see like a few Galactic Legends scattered.
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing I'm seeing. They've almost always got a Grievous area and or a Padme area. A new addition this time was somebody tried a bunch of CLS teams, which I haven't seen for a little while. But only a couple of them had Chupio.
I got a question. Where, for those of you who have Admiral Piet, where do you find him? Like, what team do you use him to go up against? Him and the Imperial Troopers, I would assume. Like,
Mothma. Yep. Arnold has a video on it. One of our guys, OMAC, put him onto that counter.
You use them for Mon Mothma, instead of like say Trey or something like that. Because I know I can use them for, I can use them for Grievous every now and then, but
Well, the Mon Mothma counter is very much like the Geo counter, where Traya or Vader lead, it will guarantee you a win. But if you don't have that, it's extremely tricky. And you need something at least like B-level meta team counter it, you know? It's just super annoying. If it doesn't, it has to punish assist attacks.
But
Well, actually, Padme can do it too.
you can also
Just because, you know.
you can also build the Mon Mothma team to be Traya proof as well, though too. Like that's the counter to that is if you really it's expensive, but if you want to go POW scout a very fast Kara, like 300 speed Kara, and a relict Cassian, that will nullify Traya. That will nullify Traya because of Cassian's constantly applying ability block and buff block, and they'll just go around and they'll pick off. You know, as soon as you can get around Scion, your Nihilus is dead, right? And then I'm in trouble now.
yeah.
So what about
that's
Jawas? You know, Jawas work great against Geonosians. I mean, my Jawas are only 70k, and I can take out Geonosian squads up to about 90k. So a couple even G12-ish.
Yeah, we have a guy.
Jawas work pretty good.
They can work. We have a Lord Tom is back in Alpha as of today, and he has relict Jawas, and yeah, he does use those against Mon Mothma.
Yeah, it worked, but also, this is this is the disparity between people like myself that has Gear 7 Jawas. Can they work against Mon Mothma? No, the answer is no. But if you have relic Jawas, hell yeah, they can work.
And relic, what relic doesn't work at some point?
Yeah, if they're any relic level, doesn't matter. Really, if they were Gear 12, it would work against a relic Mon Mothma.
I just wondered, you know, Geonosians don't have any revives in the same way that Mon Mothma does, and so I wondered if the thermal detonators can stack up enough to actually kill the whole team off. I haven't ever tried Jawas against Mon Mothma.
It'll
They
stack
can.
on Mothma because she assists.
Oh,
So
let's
she
say,
will.
let's say, what if you don't see any Mon Mothmas? Like, if you don't see any Mon Mothmas in GAC or something like that, and you have Imperial Troopers and with Piet there, what do you? Because they're a decent enough team at this point. Like, where do you think is the most efficient use of them?
If you're
Did you see
starting,
Imperial Troopers with Piet in your last
No,
GAC?
I have Piet.
if
I'm
you're
not trying to figure out what to use them with because I don't see Mon Mothma at all practically. If I do, it's like a 3 or 4 star Mon Mothma.
it depends.
They kill Night Sisters, don't they?
They can. It depends on
Yeah,
your.
but I can do that without Piet.
It depends on your start.
Well, equally geared, they will.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I actually mod Piet to be the fastest because he gives offense up, so they get the turn meter that way. And then I have Stark go.
Yeah, that's
So
how
like
I've
my
seen that
Piet
build.
so my Piet's like 300 speed, whatever. Still 320 with the lead. So like I can get him out in front of a fair number of teams. The question is, I don't know which teams to use him against.
Yeah,
I
and
just
I
kinda
can't.
How much
bounce
have you
around.
played
Well,
tested that? Because that sounds like an excellent counter. I don't know if it works though. I've not seen that before.
Against which team?
Against Mon Mothma.
Yeah, but he
Gear
said he
Troopers?
doesn't see very much Mon Mothma out there. I think that trooper team would work against Geonosians. I mean, against Night Sisters for sure. But
Yeah.
I don't know what else you'd shoot with it. But
Geonosians are much harder to get the first kill on. The problem.
Yeah, because of health equalizing.
Yeah, but if you got a healthy set of troopers, I think that they could take a Mothma team. As long as
When
you
I
can
looked
ignore
up-
taunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as you can kill somebody before
Yeah, once you
they're
get
counters for,
finishing.
uh,
Yeah, it's a turn meter train battle, right? That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. When I looked up the counters for Rey Jedi training, because somebody put that on defense in GAC, I was surprised to see Imperial Troopers listed as one of the best counters to Rey.
Against GL Ray, that person is lying to you, sir.
Not GL Rey,
No,
Jedi training.
Oh, Jedi Training Ray. Yeah. That depends on if it's a JTR with the heroes on it or not. It's just
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
It's
sport
not.
team.
It's not. It was a
Yeah,
vanilla.
it's not.
It was the old Resistance with, Finn and BB-8 and Scavenger Ray.
Yeah, maybe. My PS's only 3 stars, so I'm not gonna know for a long time.
I bet you that a high-level Imperial Trooper squad can actually fight that Jedi, the older Jedi training Ray.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I mean, I find them to be I kind of bounce them around. Like I don't really have a. I don't be like, all right, I see this team. I'm like, all right, time to bring out the troopers. Like I don't have a. I just kind of leave them around there and see what's left.
They can probably kill a lot of different stuff, so it sounds
Yeah,
really
they can.
interesting. You may be
Yeah,
on
but
the
you have
cutting
to have
edge.
your troopers. You have to have your troopers speed it up. You have to have your Stark and your other guys fast. Like
Yeah, I mean,
it's
I'm
an
going for-
investment of mods to make that team work.
Yeah, that's
The
true.
last officers meeting, they
And at
were
least gear
calling
12.
for counter videos.
Yeah.
They were saying we want more medium level and interesting counter videos. So if you got a really high trooper team that's countering a bunch of different stuff, if you can, record some videos of that and send it to our friend Prim. They're constantly looking for more videos, and they said,
Hey
that
man,
the thing they're
do you guys
lacking right
know
now
who
is
Indigo
mid-level.
is? Indigo has been
I've heard.
recording videos of troopers. I think he has like at least 4 of them. I think 13 relics. But that guy knows how to use. If you want to learn how to use troopers, that guy knows how to do it.
Yeah,
Indigo.
That's the guy that taught
Just
Arnold.
YouTube Indigo Swago. That's it. Yeah. He knows what he's doing, man. I got matched with him once, and he kicked my booty. I have to say, like, I had no chance. This guy really understands how to spread his roster out.
That's a big part of the game, really, is just looking at your character's abilities and learning them, and then looking at the abilities of the enemy characters and learning them so that you kind of know the intricacies. Otherwise, it's really tough if you're shooting blind or just relying on a video that's going to teach you a counter. And in some cases with this new stuff, there's not going to be a video explaining. You're going to have to figure it out yourself, and that's when a little digging into the kit will get you a lot of mileage, in my opinion.
Yeah, or understanding, like, what people... Here's one thing that I've noticed is, like... so I'm not a whale, I inherited a whale account 3 years ago. But like that doesn't really matter in these days, right? I've just been playing it. Yeah, it had like $5,000 augmented into it in 2017. Who cares? Doesn't matter. It just means I had all the ships and I have more Zetas than you. That's really the end result. So anyway, what I find is interesting is that when people give me recommendations that just have more money to spend, they're like, oh, just like, do this, do that. When I don't have the possibility to do that, just noticing it, like, oh, that's an interesting. Yeah, I can see how that would work for you. It's like a very different trajectory that we all have with the game in general, and depending on what our GP is, right?
Yeah.
And counters are so difficult right now too, because they're building teams where you put one different character on that team and now the go-to counter doesn't work, right? Or in order to counter it, if it has this character on it, then you have to have something modded a certain way. But you know what? We can only we lock in with our mods for GAC and TW too. So counters are really tricky right now.
I totally agree with you. And Tyler, I watched your last video where you're like, oh, Padme on defense? It was just, it was a monkey wrench in the system. Still got through it, right? It was just like, oh, damn, what am I going to do here? It really does make a difference.
We put in Newt on the Grievous team in the front section on Territory War, and I saw, like, almost everything else they killed with one hit. But dropped Droideka and put in Newt, and another person dropped Droideka and put in Watt, and those took 2 or 3 battles. Now, everything else.
Hey,
they killed
dude,
with
Alpha uses GG with Newt almost all the time because it's counter to using Night Sisters against it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
GG
my
with
God, I saw that
Newt
for
is
the
no
first time
joke.
today. I saw
Yeah.
that Night Sister thing today. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. The
Yeah.
Night Sisters with like Daka just reviving the whole team. That's crazy stuff.
Yeah, GG is a
Yeah,
very...
but Newt is the way that you prevent people from using an easy counter like all their Night Sisters in the bank from using on your GG teams.
Well,
Newt somehow like he neuters that team. No pun intended.
General Grievous is
Yeah.
the typical team where I say you switch up one character and it switches up the whole counter. If you have just GG with just droids, that could be Night Sistered. That can be Padmate, that can be Jedi Knight Reverend, or that can be Basilisk. If you put BB-8 on that team, well, now all of a sudden you have to use Basilisk. Jedi Knight Reverend doesn't work. The DR counter doesn't work. But and you can use Night Sisters on it easily. But then if you put in Newt, that kind of prevents the Night Sister counter, and it also, since Newt makes it so that every debuff is applied, also does health % damage. That is probably the most cost-effective counter, is to put Newt on that team. But GG is one of those
really
teams
like
where
that.
you switch up one tune and it just, because if you put Watt on that team, okay, now that limits your counters to very few things: GLs, gas, or that EP Vader Treya combo that eats up like 3 teams. But now with GLs, everyone needs Watt for those counters, so you don't really see the Watts down with GG very much anymore.
You know, I've kind of been pushing a weird boundary on my Galactic War, theory crafting boundary. And what I've been doing is trying to center a squad around Akbar because of his weird ability that calls a rebel to assist if somebody does a non-attack move. And so now I'm trying to build a squad where there's no attack moves. And it gets interesting if you've got BB-8 and C-3PO under Akbar, and they get enough stacks of translation on each other. It's like they could start this chain reaction where they're just making so many moves, even though they're not directly killing the enemies.
Yeah, but Beefed, I love this idea. I was an Akbar fan back in the day, but I'm telling you, can't take BB-8 and R2 from other teams, like in a GAC or TW situation.
Well,
no, that's true.
It's
That's
just
quite true.
unpractical, but I love it.
The very
and I
first,
think it's great.
The very first HAAT solo team was an Akbar-led team with BB-8, CLS.
Yes, that's
Han.
true.
So
Yeah,
but like,
dude,
I think a relic Akbar.
what
and
was
now,
his name? Who was that? Sir
Gorgeous.
Sir. Oh my God.
Sir Gorgeous.
Sir Gorgeous.
Yeah,
Georges.
Sir Gorgeous.
No, it was
That's
Georges.
right.
Gorgeous, yeah.
You're right.
Also, you know what? That guy was so funny. I spent like so many times talking to him on voice chat. And what's so funny about him is that he was like a stage like actor, like a Shakespearean actor.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
caught that.
So his videos, but also his like the tonality of his voice was so like I'd have to pinch many vocal cords to be like, hey guys, I'm about to introduce you to the most amazing thing you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he was right. You know?
he was right.
God,
His
I
squad
love that
worked.
guy. Yeah,
I
love
liked
that
putting
guy.
a now Watt on that team.
Yeah,
so I
but
got
his
another
personality
non-attack.
was just so interesting. And also, this was the time when I don't know if you guys were around when this happened, but there was a strange thing that CG pushed on people that if you make videos about Swago, then you put your face on the screen. And there were some people that were just like, oh no, I'm just going to narrate the video because all you need to see is the video and me explaining it. You know, back in the day, Nukin was a good example, you know, before he outed himself. But it's just such a strange thing. It's like, I don't need to see your face to enjoy the video. Just teach me what I need to know, you know. But Dylar has been rocking it, man. He's been rocking. This guy streams all of his gaps, by the way. I don't think I have the balls to do that. I don't think I can win as much as you do. But still, even, yeah, dude, you got it going on. I watch all your videos, bro.
People like seeing your face. I don't know why. People just, I don't know. I remember
Yeah,
the first.
they're like, I want to know what the face that the sound that comes out of the mouth looks like. I think that's what most people want.
Like, I remember we were bugging because I'm in
The
the.
idea, something that came up in the last officers meeting is that we could have some of our celebrity all-star expert type people help during a live battle. Like you could stream your game screen through Discord and have people on the chat watching.
Yeah, that's a
who
new
know
thing.
how to win Ki Mundi or whatever battle, and they can coach you during the fight. That would be really cool. We got to get that going on.
Well, that happens in alpha. It's just like, I can tell you that out of 50 people in the guild, well, I don't know, 46, I don't know how many people there are. There's a couple alt accounts. But I can tell you that even with that offering of someone who has put in the expert knowledge, like Bruce Lee, of how to beat the Kiadi Mundi mission, there might be 3 people, maybe myself included, that will be like, hey, can you watch me like Big Brother and tell me what to click on?
Well, that's because Alpha's a little bit of a
You know what I mean?
high guild or high GP casual guild, and some people don't want to go
It's
through
pretty
the effort.
casual.
Yeah, some people don't want. Well, I should say a lot of people don't want to go through the effort of finding the mods, because modding that team is a nightmare in amongst itself, and then to get the mods back in place afterwards is a little bit of headache. So I know people in Alpha specifically that just say that at this point they refuse to do the remodding now, and they're just good with 20 shards.
It's interesting though,
Yeah.
because we could apply that if we had that technology rolling. You could use it for so many of those difficult unlocks. Like I know people who are just struggling on the C3PO event or whatever. It seems easy once you've mastered it.
Oh man, that C3PO
Well,
event, that was a
actually,
rough one.
Beef, I can. Go ahead, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, that event was horrible.
It's like
Yes, it was.
if you have gear
That was
12
what it
Ewoks,
was.
cool. That it's easy. You can put 6 mods on them. But I know I did mine with all gear 9s, 1 gear 10, and 1 gear 11. It sucked. It was like 3 hours of RNG. Like it was worse than gas in my opinion.
Yep. Same.
Yeah.
Doable, but not fun.
No, not fun. Oh, there's something to it though. You feel a sense of accomplishment is definitely there afterwards.
Yeah, but
True.
that's the thing with events, is they should be something that are enjoyable, that I look forward to. I don't know why. So right now, for example, we're facing a week of light side GOTB, and the announcement that came from our leadership in general, which I'm a part of, obviously. I just think it's funny. It's like, oh, everyone brace for impact, grit your teeth. You know this is gonna suck. Just, try to be a team player and don't complain so much, you fucking bitches.
You know what's funny though is like I wasn't being sarcastic earlier. I really do actually really enjoy Lightside TV.
Do you?
I do.
Why?
Because
Please
I love
enlighten
the
us, Ray.
challenge.
Please.
Because I think I was 4th or 5th highest for combat waves last time. It's like a challenge for me since it's the high end content.
Oh, really? You're scoreboarding it?
No, I don't care about GP contributed, but combat waves, I love getting the 4/4s. I love switching
well,
on my
combat
teams.
waves that's. I can see it. Yeah.
But then RNG just slaps
I
you in the
just
face
fail
and
way
just
more
screws
than
you.
So I'm upset about your success, my friend. I'm sorry. Why would I be sad about your success? I
Yeah.
applaud you.
I like it. Like I know. I don't even know how you pronounce shoot-magun, whatever. We'll say shoot-magun. Like
Shoot me again.
Yeah, his coordination of Lightside TB is awesome, but I know he's feeling like kind of like overwhelmed now because like now how does he factor in Jedi Master Luke's? He has no idea what direction to throw that into the mix.
For sure. Yeah. It's a new
Like
parameter.
did you see he was trying to? He actually asked if we could go to Hoth this month.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hoth is not that bad. The one thing about Hoth is you can ace it now.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, you don't get
can
the, you
ace
don't
off
get to
anytime.
get two though.
yeah, we need to get
Yeah,
two.
but
I
the
would say
only
any
the only
build
thing
they
a
can do-
3 point whatever million build needs hot for is if someone said, "Hey, I don't have enough gas shards." There's no reason to engage that content otherwise. You just
Yeah.
have to kind of suck it up
Yeah,
and do the
agree.
light side GeoTV content. That's
Yeah, I would pretty much agree. Anyone who has access to the light side should do it, even if they get 1 star.
Yeah. Even Alpha, back in the day when Lightside was introduced, we skipped it for a week just because we're like, hey, F that. Let's all just finish off our gas and get 1 currency to do that. That was in like last December, maybe? But there's no time that we would ever touch that content otherwise. But for guilds that are up and coming, I mean, Lightside TV is so punishing, and so unfriendly, and just, I don't know, just makes you feel like nothing you ever chose in the game ever worked out the way you wanted it to.
Yeah, because it's
just gonna.
there are limited teams that can actually be successful in it, and right now, because we have 4 GLs to farm, no one has time to build out the other teams.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the time to build out the teams. You're right. Yeah, Tyler, you're 100% correct.
Like, you know, like well, I guess I could pull it up, but it's Padme. Even Padme now, people is kind of like a C team, right? Like you gotta. No one's out there farming up their Anakin to R7 anymore. Like I came across in GAC. In GAC, I came across an R5 Grievous team, and I'm like, huh. Well, why did that guy only have an R5 Grievous? But then I come to think of it, why would you really have to R7 your Grievous now, given everyone else that you have to R7?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't have an R7 Grievous, and I'm an old-time player. Like, I just never found it. Still, he works fine, right? Whatever.
Tassinix, I see you're still around here. I see you've, like, flown up the GP ranks in Alpha recently. You just heavy spender? Are you cracking, man?
Is Tasnix here?
Yeah, he's still in
He
shit.
is here.
He's still here.
He's not muted, but I can't hear him.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna have to bow out here shortly.
He's doing something more important than talking to you, like eating a sandwich, maybe.
Ooh. Well, I think I've digested enough now. I can actually go fit in a 3rd sandwich, maybe a cabbage roll and a pierogi.
A cabbage roll on a pierogi. That's a sandwich. That's literally a sandwich.
It was a pretty good round table. Do you have any ideas for how to make that work better, or it's working good enough as it is?
Oh, here, let me just take us offline then. I'll wrap up. I'll hit the stop button, and then we can.
Recording?
Yeah, it's still recording. So I'll hit the button, and then we can just kind
Good
of
night, everyone.
Hey, can I just apologize in advance for everyone?
Oh no, it was pretty PG. We didn't push any boundaries. We're all good. It was good conversation. Come back next Monday, folks.
Happy Monday, everybody.